the Yakutia region in Siberia, an endless expanse of white, where winter temperatures plunge to levels that can freeze the very air you breathe, is one of the harshest, most unforgiving places on Earth. For those who live and work here, survival is a daily reality. But what happens when the lifeline to civilization is suddenly severed? March 15, 2023, and Mi-8 helicopter lifts off, its rotors beating a familiar rhythm against the crisp, cold air. This is a routine supply flight to a remote mining camp, a trip made countless times before. On board are 4 souls, each a vital part of the Arctic's industrial heart. Victor, a 51-year-old mining engineer with decades of experience. Anna, a bright 29-year-old geologist mapping the region's hidden treasures. Dmitri, a 35-year-old medic, the guardian of the crew's health. And at the controls, 42-year-old Pavel Sokolov, a veteran pilot with 15 years of flying through these treacherous skies. The mood inside the cockpit is relaxed, professional. Jokes are exchanged over the headset, the familiar banter of colleagues who trust each other with their lives. They fly over a landscape that is both beautiful and terrifying, a vast frozen ocean of snow and ice, stretching to the horizon. During a routine check, Pavel notices a slight flicker on an instrument gauge. A minor irregularity, he's seen it before. In these machines, in this cold, you get used to little quirks. He taps the glass, the needle settles, and he dismisses it. The weather report is on their side. Conditions are acceptable, with only a minor storm system moving in later. Nothing they haven't handled 100 times before. But today is different. Without warning, a deafening bang rips through the cabin. A violent shudder courses through the helicopter's frame. Alarms scream to life, a chorus of digital panic. Red lights flash across the control panel. Pavel's years of training take over instantly. His heart hammers against his ribs, but his hands are steady. Engine failure! Mayday, mayday, mayday! He shouts into the radio, his voice strained but clear. He fights the controls, trying to wrestle the dying machine into a controlled descent. The ground rushes up to meet them with terrifying speed. Anna and Dmitri brace themselves in the back, their faces pale with shock. Victor grips his seat, his knuckles white. The impact is brutal. A gut-wrenching collision of metal, snow, and ice. The world becomes a whirlwind of chaos, a symphony of destruction as the helicopter tears itself apart. Then darkness, and a profound ringing silence, broken only by the mournful howl of the wind. Pavel wakes up to an agonizing pain in his leg and a biting, invasive cold that seems to seep into his very bones. He's disoriented, his ears still ringing from the crash. He pushes himself up, his vision swimming. The helicopter is a mangled wreck, a twisted metal carcass half buried in a snowdrift. He calls out, "Victor? Anna? Dmitri?" Silence. The only answer is the wind. A dreadful realization dawns on him. He's alone. Completely and utterly alone. His leg is broken. The emergency supplies, the food, the radio all gone, either destroyed in the crash or buried somewhere under tons of snow and wreckage. He has nothing. Just the clothes on his back, a lighter, and his pilot's knife. The sun is beginning to dip towards the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple. A beautiful, deadly sunset. With the darkness comes the cold, the real cold. Temperatures in Yakutia at night can plummet to -71 degrees Celsius. Without shelter, without fire, survival is measured in minutes, not hours. Panic begins to bubble up, a cold dread that threatens to paralyze him. But Pavel is a survivor. He forces the panic down. He knows that giving in to fear is a death sentence. His first priority is fire. He scans his surroundings, his mind racing. He spots the helicopter's broken seats, the foam padding spilling out. He remembers his training. This foam is flammable. Using his knife, he painstakingly carves away pieces of the frozen padding. His fingers are already numb, clumsy. The simple act of striking his lighter becomes a monumental task. The wind snatches at the tiny flame, extinguishing it again and again. Finally, after what feels like an eternity, a small, hopeful flame catches. He carefully feeds it with more foam and fragments of plastic from the wreckage. The fire grows, a fragile beacon of warmth and life in the vast, indifferent wilderness. It's a small victory, but it's everything. For tonight, he will live. As the days crawl by, Pavel's world shrinks to the immediate, desperate needs of survival. His broken leg is a constant source of agony. He fashions a crude splint from a piece of metal wreckage and his belt, but every movement is excruciating. Hunger becomes annoying, ever-present ache in his belly. He has no food. He scours the crash site, digging through the snow with his bare hands, hoping to find anything, a stray ration pack, a candy bar. He finds nothing. Driven by desperation, he tries to eat the frozen seed foam, but it's inedible, chemical tasting. His only source of water is melted snow, which he laboriously collects and thaws over his small, precious fire. His mind becomes his greatest enemy and his only companion. The silence is deafening, broken only by the wind and the crackle of his fire. To keep from slipping into despair, he creates a rigid routine. Wake up, check the splint, gather more fuel for the fire, a task that takes hours of painful, slow movement. Melt snow, watch the horizon for any sign of a rescue plane. At night, huddled by the fire, he talks to his family. He pictures his wife's face, his children's laughter. These memories become his lifeline, the reason he fights to stay alive. He refuses to let them become just memories. The days bleed into one another. Day 5, Day 6. Hope begins to fade. The sky remains stubbornly empty. The cold is relentless, a physical entity trying to crush him. Frostbite blackens the tips of his fingers. He knows his time is running out. His body is failing. On the 8th day, a new kind of despair sets in. He hasn't eaten in over a week. He's weak, delirious. The fire, his one companion, is becoming harder to maintain. The easily accessible fuel is gone. He lies in the snow, the cold leeching the last of his strength. This is it, he thinks. This is the end. He closes his eyes, ready to let go. But then, something inside him stirs. An image of his daughter on her birthday, her face beaming as she blows out the candles. A promise he made to her that he would always come home. Is a spark. A tiny defiant ember of will in the face of absolute hopelessness. No, not like this. He forces himself up, a primal roar of defiance tearing from his raw throat. He will not die here. He will crawl if he has to. He will live. This decision, this raw act of will, changes everything. On the 11th day, his body is shutting down. He's barely conscious, drifting in and out of a frozen haze. His fire has died. The cold is winning. He lies back, his gaze fixed on the pale, empty sky. And then he hears it, a faint, distant thrumming. At first, he thinks he's hallucinating, his mind playing one last cruel trick. But the sound grows louder, more distinct. It's the unmistakable beat of helicopter rotors. Hope, so powerful is painful, surges through him. With the last of his strength, he pulls himself up. He waves his arms, a desperate, frantic motion. Here, I'm here. He screams, his voice a hoarse croak. The rescue helicopter circles once, then begins its descent. To the rescuers, he is a ghost, a near impossible sight. A man who survived 11 days in the frozen heart of Yakutia with a broken leg and no supplies. As they lift him from the snow, Pavel's ordeal is finally over. He lost his colleagues and nearly his own life, but he never lost the will to live. His story is not just one of incredible physical endurance, but a powerful testament to the human spirit's ability to find hope in the darkest of places and to fight for one more sunrise. It's a reminder that even in the face of overwhelming odds, the will to survive, fueled by love and memory, can conquer even the most brutal wilderness. Thank you for watching. If you were moved by Pavel's story, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more incredible true stories of survival. Stay safe and never give up.